right, is everybody ready? And we still have 2 people on their way. Oh, they got in. So they're nurses. So we should like give them a little cheer. They're friends with these ladies when they walk in. But they just got off their shift and they're at our yoga class for the first time. So that's awesome. All right. So let's just start out just kind of working out like any kinks in our neck and our shoulders and everything. So just come to any comfortable seat. And roll your head and neck out just like once or twice in each direction. Kind of checking in with yourself. And then you can take your hands, just interlace them behind your back. And we're going to take both hands over to one side, making a fist. And then drop whatever side your hands are, drop that ear towards that other shoulder. And just sitting up straight and just allow kind of just gravity to come down, feeling that nice stretch on the other side of your neck. Starting to lengthen your breath. And then bring your chin down towards your chest. Take your fist, bring it over to the other side. And just drop the other ear down towards the other shoulder. Try not to lean that way. Just kind of let gravity do the work in your ear. Just kind of gently reach down. Starting to lengthen your breath. And then from here, you're just going to keep your hands interlaced, take them behind your back, draw your shoulders up and back, and just sit up nice and tall for a few deep breaths. So this is really good. Hi, ladies. Welcome. So there's a spot here, wherever the blocks are, and then you can be either right there or over here. And the block is a weight, and I'm going to get you another weight. I like your yoga mat, by the way. So this posture is really good for countering forward hunching, like over our computers, our phones. Yeah, and the block is actually just a weight, and there's extra weights behind you. Yes, no problem. All right, go ahead and release. You got to hold a little longer today. That's good. So let's just roll our shoulders up and back once or twice more. And just come to sitting up nice and straight. So feel your sit bones connected with the mat, lifting up through the base of your spine, all the way up through the top of your head. Either just close your eyes or start to look out, or just soften your gaze, looking at the water. And just starting to lengthen your breath. So taking long, deep inhales in through your nose. Long, deep exhales out through your nose. Making your inhales and your exhales about the same length. With each breath, just feel your body relax a little bit more and your mind start to really become present. Using this time to let go of anything on your mind, let go of your day, and for the next hour or so, just focus on being here now, exactly where we are. Taking a moment to just feel and embrace being outdoors right now in the marina. So feeling that wind, the sun setting, and just the sounds, any sounds from the marina, the city, the boats, not wanting to change any of it, just embracing all of it as part of our experience today. And always just kind of knowing no matter what is going on in the outside world, you can always come to this strength and calmness from within to find that inner peace. So just take a moment to remind yourself of something you're grateful for before we start. And then slowly open up your eyes. So for our first inhale, we're just going to reach our arms out and up. So I want you to go ahead and drop your head back. Look up to the sky, the clouds, holding the arms up nice and tall, keeping the sit bones connected. And then you can press your palms together, bring your hands down to your heart center. We're just going to take our hands to our knees, and we're just going to start to move in circles. So nothing in particular, but you can make them as big or as small as you want. We're just going to start in the same direction, whatever direction you start with. Just kind of getting some movement in with your body, warming up your body. We'll do one more time in this direction. And then when you're ready, you can change, move in the other direction. So staying with those long, deep breaths. So inhaling maybe halfway through the circle, exhaling the other half of the way through the circle. And we'll do one more circle in this direction. And then from here, we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So just coming to the center of your mat, you're going to spread out your fingers and make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are under the hips, and we're just going to warm up the spine. So a few rounds of cat-cow. So starting out on your inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, you're going to come through to the center, neutral spine, and then round the back, round the shoulders, bringing the chin to the chest. So kind of just move at your own pace, your own flow, going with your breath between these two movements. 2 to 3 more rounds of cat-cow. All right, very good. Last round of cat-cow. So from here, we're just going to come to a neutral tabletop. So drawing the shoulders apart, lift up through the core. We're going to do a little bit of core work. So start out by taking your right foot back, flex the foot, keep the toe on the ground to start with, and then you're going to take the opposite arm forward. So left arm forward. So just a straight line, looking towards those fingers. From here, you're going to lift that back foot up. Good. So flexing through the foot, pressing back through the heel, working on core balance, staying focused, deep breath. From here, we're going to inhale. Exhale, we're going to do a little crunch. So take your time, bring the elbow into your knee. And then inhale, reach out and lengthen. We're going to do 4 more. Exhale, elbow to knee, maybe rounding the back as you bring the elbow to knee. Inhale to reach and lengthen, moving with your breath. All right, on your last one, hold it out here, either just holding it here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, bend that back knee, reach your hand back for the top of the foot, and you're going to press the foot into the hand, opening up the quad. It's just an option. You can stay right here if you want. Then hold it for 3, 2, 1, release. All right, lift it back for a moment, little child's pose. And then we'll make our way back up, and we're going to change sides. So same thing on the other side. Take the left foot back, opposite foot back. Draw the shoulders apart. You want a strong frame with your shoulders. Lift up through the core. Opposite arm reaches forward. And then when you're ready, you have your balance. Lift that back foot up. You want to think energies reaching from your fingertips, and you're pushing back through the heel. So it's reaching on both ends. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it long and lengthen. Very good. Exhale, elbow to knee. You don't have to go at my pace, but we're going to do about 5 or so. Moving with your breath. After you've done your last one, either just holding it out long, staying here for about 5 more breaths, or bend that back knee, reach the hand back. For balance, I find it's easier to keep my gaze focused on the mat in front of me. If you can reach the foot, you can press the foot into the hand. Deep breaths for 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Sit back. Take a little child's pose. So this class is called Vin Yin Core. So we're going to kind of move into some Vinyasa. And then we're going to do some more core-specific exercise and then finish with some deep stretching and long holds. So from here, we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So for downward facing dog, you want to spread out your fingers, tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back. And then from here, just kind of stretch it out a little bit. So you can bend one knee, work the other heel down towards the mat, and then switch sides, stretching out the back of your legs. You want to relax your head and neck, so your chin's kind of towards your chest. And then from here, we're going to walk our feet up to our hands, coming to a forward fold. We're going to stay in this forward fold for a few deep breaths. Relax the head and neck down. Lift up through the hips. Spread out the toes, mounting through your feet. Making sure you're not sitting back too much in the heels. Bring your body weight a little bit forward. Start to feel the stretch in the back of your legs. And then on an inhale, we'll come to a half lift. So straighten your legs, take your hands to your shins, draw your shoulder blades back. Good. Exhale, fold forward a little bit deeper this time in your forward fold. And we're going to do that half lift 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Good. Exhale, fold forward deeper. Just a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, half lift. Good. Exhale, fold. Next inhale, make your way all the way up. So lengthen through your spine, arms. Either you can bring arms forward or out to the side, whichever you prefer, or wherever you have room for. Extended mountain pose, good. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So from here, we're going to move through about 2 rounds of sun salutations or vinyasas to really warm up the body. So moving with our breath, we're going to inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips through the center line of your body. Inhale to come to a half lift. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to a plank. Let's just pause into this plank and just make sure we have good form. So draw the shoulders apart, lift up through your core. And then we're going to lower down nice and slow all the way to our stomach. So reverse push-up, elbows hug your ribs. Inhale, cobra pose, a little back bend. You're going to draw your shoulders back and then lift up through your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, come back down. Coming maybe back to a tabletop and then into downward facing dog again. Staying here 3 to 5 breaths, just kind of stretching it out. Can keep a little bend in your knees, and you want to send your stomach towards your upper thighs and your hips up and back. And then when you're ready, you can walk, step, or even a little hop, bringing the feet up to the hands, coming into a half lift. Exhale, fold deeper. Next inhale, reach all the way up, lengthen through your spine, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, trying to move with your breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, making your way to a plank. Take your time to lower down, moving through to maybe a cobra or an up dog. So an up dog is with straight arms. So they're just optional, whichever one feels better for your back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths, just resetting here. I'm going to get you some more weights for your mat, yeah. Might be the angle you are with the wind, I don't know. Try putting them over here, yeah. And when you're ready, you can walk, step, or hop your feet up to your hands, coming into a half lift. Exhale, fold again, and then reach all the way up. All right, very good. Let's reach back, so a little back bend. So keeping the hips forward, looking up to the sky, maybe looking back. Reach. Good, and then slowly make your way back down. All right, we're going to add on a little bit from here. So let's start with a chair pose. So bend the knees, reach your arms up, draw your shoulders back. Deep breath. Good. All right, so from here, we're going to exhale to fold forward. We're going to go through a vinyasa again. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands coming to a plank. Lowering down either all the way to a cobra or to an up dog, going up a little bit higher. Coming into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to add on a little bit. So you're going to take the right leg up. So 3-legged down dog. You're going to stretch it up. Reach that right heel up towards the sky. And then we're going to do a little bit of core work. So inhale. Exhale, you're going to take the right knee to the right elbow up high, coming forward on your left toe. Inhale, reach it up. Lengthen, exhale, right knee to your nose, coming forward on the left toe. Inhale, reach up. This time twist. Right knee to left elbow. Good. Inhale, reach. This time we're bringing the foot all the way through. So you want that foot up to the hands. If it doesn't make it, just grab the ankle, get it all the way up there. Yes. Spin your back heel down. We're going to set up for warrior two. So check your knees in front of the ankle, and then your heel is kind of in the middle of your back foot. From here, we're going to make our way up. Warrior two. I'm just going to turn to face you guys. Good. So you're relaxed in your shoulders. You can always straighten that front leg a little bit, and then we're going to work towards getting a nicer bend in that front knee. Deep breath. And you just relax your torso in the middle. And from here, we're going to flip our front palm up, back hand down, reverse warrior two, so to stretch along the obliques, the sides of your body. Coming back into warrior two, we're going to come to extended side angle. So reaching forward, bringing the forearm above the knee to start with. Left arm reaches up, and then extend that left arm forward so the bicep towards the ear. So you're really extending out long through that whole side of the body. Perfect. So option to stay here, but if you want to go deeper, you might bring the fingertips all the way down to the mat inside that foot, just as an option. If it feels good to have your knee, your right hand, your right forearm above the knee, keep it there. The left arm is going to stay up, stay long. All right, good. We're going to make our way back into warrior two. One or two more deep breaths. And then we're going to go through a vinyasa. So cartwheel the hands down, lift that back heel up, step back to a plank, lower down, moving through to an up dog or a cobra, coming into downward facing dog. We're going to do that same sequence on the other side. So three-legged down dog, lift the left leg up, stretch it out, deep breaths. And then we're going to do that core work. So inhale, exhale, left knee to left elbow, staying up high. Inhale, reach. So you're going to come forward on that right toe, and then bring the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, reach the leg back and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Knee towards the opposite elbow. Inhale, reach back. And then next we're going to bring the foot all the way through as far as we can. If it doesn't make it all the way up to the hands, grab the ankle, bring it forward. Spin the back heel down and just kind of check your front heels over your knee. Your heels about in the middle of the back of your foot. And then you can take your time, make your way up. Warrior two, find your balance. Relax the shoulders. Maybe straighten that front leg a little and then sink a little bit deeper. So in our warrior two, our gaze is usually focused towards our front fingers. Energetically squeeze the inner thighs. It is harder to do in socks, by the way. But, you know, we like a challenge. It's also harder to do outside. Flip that front palm up, back hand down, reach up and back. So reverse warrior. And then come back to warrior two. We're going to come to extended side angle. So reach that left arm forward, starting out by bringing the forearm above the knee, and then open up that right arm, the right shoulder. So you can stay here, but if you want to go further, you're going to extend that right arm forward, biceps towards the ear, extending through the whole right side of your body. Option to either stay here if this feels good, or you can bring the left fingertips all the way down to the mat. Good. And then cartwheel that both hands down. We're going to move through a vinyasa. So step back to a plank. Take your time to lower down, coming to an up dog or cobra. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. And let's just pause here, coming onto your hands and knees. Either taking a child's pose, or if you want, just grab a drink of water. And we're going to do one more flow sequence. And whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back into a downward facing dog. Taking your time. We're going to come to a three-legged down dog again. Right leg reaches up, this time bending at the knee and opening up the hip. So stretching it out. So flex that right foot in the back, bend the knee, reach it up high. Deep breath. And then we're going to bring that right knee up high to our chest, right foot through between our hands. All right. So from here, take the left hand down out wide in line with the foot, right hand to right knee. We're coming to a twist. So look over that right shoulder and then reach the right arm up. Yes, good. Twisting's good for our back. And then you can bring your hands down. So from here, we're going to make our way up to a high lunge. So you want that back heel lifted, feet a little bit staggered for balance. And we're going to start out hovering the arms behind you like airplane arms. I know it's really hard. And then we're going to make our way to a high lunge. So you're going to lift the torso up, bring your hands down, and reach up. So this is kind of a balance pose. It's also a leg strengthener. Draw the shoulders down and back. Good. Back heels lifted up. From here, cactus your arms. Good. And it is harder with the wind and having that whole horizon. Hands to heart center. We're going to make our way to warrior 3, kind of in stages. So step that back foot in a little bit more. Straighten the standing leg or just kind of soften the knee, and you're going to start to lift that back foot up, maybe just a few inches to start with. Your gaze is focused at the mat in front of you. And then you're going to lift that back foot up a little bit more, maybe hinging forward a little bit more. Option to keep your hands at your heart center, or the full pose is to reach the arms forward. If you come out of it, no big deal. Just trying it just for fun. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring your hands down. We're going to step back and go through a vinyasa. Same thing on the other side. So stepping back to a plank, lowering down, up dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, reach that left leg up. Bend at your knee. Open up your hips. Flex that back foot. Stacking your hips. Relax the head and neck. So kind of looking behind you. Deep breath. Come forward on your right toe. Left knee high to the chest. Left foot up to the hands. Keeping that back heel up this time. Feet a little bit staggered. Take your right hand out to the right side. Left hand to left knee. Look over that left shoulder and then reach the arm up for the twist. Good, and then you can bring your hand back down. We're going to make our way up to high lunge, so just taking your time. So maybe bringing one hand to that knee, find your balance. Then the other, actually, we're going to do those, I forgot, the airplane arms. So this is harder. Hands behind you for one more breath. And now we're going to bring the hands down, reach up, lengthen through your spine, good job. Draw your shoulders down and back. From here, open up, cactus arms, good. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart center, step that back foot in a little, step it in a little bit more. Square your hips, so the front knee's a little bit soft, so not locked out, and then start to lift that back foot up, starting out with to come into warrior 3. And you can stay here, just work on balancing here. But if you want to go deeper, focus on hinging forward, lift that back leg up, pressing back through the heel. Think right hip down. Just trying it. Either keeping the hands at heart center to be more steady, or you could try reaching them forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just going to come to standing, shake it out. Good job. Awesome. All right, so we do all the hard work at the beginning of class and the more relaxing stuff towards the end of class. So we're going to step towards the back of our mat. We're going to roll down to a plank, so a little bit of core work. So you're just going to take your hands in front of you, just slowly roll down, letting your arms roll down, your head, neck, coming to a forward fold. And then we're going to walk our hands out to a plank. So just walking out to a plank. We're just going to hold that plank for a few breaths. So drawing the shoulders apart, lifting up through the core. Nice strong core, deep breath. From here, we're going to come to a side plank. So a few options. One is you can drop the knee down. So drop that right knee down and lift up of a modified side plank, or just bring both heels to one side. A little bit staggered helps with balance, but if you want a challenge, you could try to stack the feet. Lifting up through the hips. Deep breath. One more deep breath here. Come through to the center. Pause in the center, and we're going to switch sides. Same thing on the other side. If you drop that knee down, you're going to take that left leg. You're going to bring the knee down, bring it out to the side, and your foot, your knee, and your hand are all in line. Or just staggering the feet helps with balance. Lift up through the hips. Lift deep breath. Good. Coming back through to a plank. Just one more deep breath here. And then you can come onto your hands and knees. Take a drink of water, just come to a seat. All right. And we're going to come onto our back. We're just going to do 1 or 2 core exercises, and then some deep stretching, starting out on our back. So you can start out, we're going to set up for just a basic crunches. So your knees are going to be bent, feet down. Take your hands behind, interlace them behind your head, elbows out wide. These are going to be slow crunches. So inhale, exhale, lift up head, neck, chest, pause. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, we're only doing 8. Lift up your head, neck, and chest. Inhale, lower down. So when you lift up, you want to lift up as high as you can and try to get those abs to shake. That's what you're going for. That means you're really working the inner abs. All right, we only have 4 more. Lifting up as high as you can. Holding it there once you've lifted up. Let's do 2 more crunches. All right, good. So you can next release your hands, and we're going to do side or oblique crunches. So just take your hands by your side. So if you're up on the top deck, you want to see what it's going to look like. You're going to lift the shoulders up, reach, tapping the side of your foot, and then the other side of your foot, side to side. We'll do about 20 to 10 on each side. I'll count on the last 10. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling through your nose, maybe exhaling through your mouth. We'll do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest, and you're just going to move in a circle, kind of massaging your lower back on the mat. Maybe about 2 or 3 times in one direction, and then 2 or 3 times in the other direction. All right. So from here, we're going to start with the second part of class. So our yin part of class, we're going to start with a half happy baby. So you're going to keep that right knee in towards your chest. Put the left foot down on the mat. Our half happy baby is going to start out like this. So you're going to reach for the outside of that right foot. The right knee is kind of going to move out to the side, and you're pressing the right knee down towards the mat. With your left leg right now, we have that foot pressed onto the mat, and that is optional, so that might help. It might feel good for your back, or you could just extend that left leg and feel a little bit more of a stretch through the inner leg on the left side too. So it's kind of just your choice, whatever feels better. So like I said, we're holding it here a little bit longer, so we're going to hold this half happy baby for about a minute. So just kind of settling into the pose, coming back to your breath. Taking a moment to kind of notice where you're feeling the stretch. So our happy baby pose is targeting the hips, the glutes, and even the inner leg. And then from here, you can put that right foot back down. We're going to switch sides. So hug the left knee in towards your chest. And then you're going to reach for the outside of the left foot, putting the left foot up towards the sky, or it could even be the left ankle, the left side of your leg. Taking the knee out wide, pressing the knee down towards the mat. Option to keep that right knee bent, or you can straighten it. Settling in, noticing how this side feels compared to the other side. About 2 more deep breaths. And then you're going to bring that other foot up, and we're going to come to a full happy baby pose. So hands are on the outsides of both your feet or the outsides of your ankles. You can rock side to side a few times here. And then in your happy baby pose, kind of play with pressing the lower back down onto the mat or lifting the tailbone up and seeing which one feels better for you and your body. Take one more deep breath and happy baby. And then from here, hug your knees into your chest, and we're going to roll forward and back along our spine about 3 or 4 times. So coming almost all the way up, but not quite. And then rolling back down along our spine. Good. So this is good for our spine. It's also good for our core, just kind of controlling it. We'll do 1 or 2 more. All right. And then we can come all the way up. From here, we're going to come back onto our hands and knees. We're going to set up for a low lunge, moving into lizard pose. So if your mat's really thin, if you want a little extra padding for your knee, we'll hold the low lunge about a minute. You're just going to kind of make a little extra padding by lifting your mat up a little. So we're going to start with the left knee back, right foot forward. And even if you are not sure if you need that extra padding, that's fine. You can always kind of pause or always change it when you need to. You don't have to stay exactly where you are. So this is the pose, and a couple options you can do with your hands. So one option is keep the fingertips down. Another one is to have the hands up. So the main thing you want to focus on is the lower body. So you want your knees to be over top of the ankle, which looks like everyone is, and feeling that stretch down in the hip and the inner leg and the other side. So just kind of coming back to your breath here. Settling into the pose. And using this time to just kind of come back to your breath. From here, we're just going to transition to a lizard pose. So you're going to take that right foot and move it more to the right so that both hands are inside and you're getting a little bit more into your knee. Maybe even take that left back knee up. See if it can go back a little bit further. Good. So option to stay here, up on your hands, or if you want to try to go lower, maybe take one forearm down, pause, see how that feels. If it doesn't feel good and you know you can't hold it very long, come back up on the hands. Or if you're like, that's kind of easy, maybe I can go further, Maybe try to bring the other forearm down. And then slowly make your way back up onto your hands. And from here, we're going to transition into pigeon pose. So you're going to take that right foot over, slide it over to the left side. Bring that right knee down. Back knee back further. Good. Take your time to make your way into the pose. So we're going to start out lengthening through your spine. So draw your shoulders back, lift up. And then slowly make your way down to resting pigeon. So this is really stretching out our hips. A nice deep hip stretch on the right side. And you can either just stay on the forearms, or you can stretch your arms out long and bring your forehead all the way down. But try to allow your body to just kind of release and relax into the pose. Notice if you're tensing up anywhere. So like soften the muscles in your face. Notice if you're scrunching your face. And just tell yourself, just let go. Just release and relax. And then take about 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then slowly take your time to walk your hands back. We're just going to come back to our upright pigeon for a breath or two, and then you can make your way out. So however you want to make your way out, coming back onto your hands and knees, stretching it out a little bit. So maybe doing a few hip circles, stretch that leg back. And then from here, you can come into downward facing dog to stretch out the legs, or even just come into a child's pose before we do the other side. All right, and then when you're ready, we're going to set up for the other side. So starting with the low lunge, so take your time to set up. If you think you need that extra padding for your knee, you can kind of roll the mat to get a little extra padding. And you want to just kind of check in your setup that your front knee's over top of the ankle. Make sure it's not leaning forward or back. And then make sure you have a good space between your front heel and your back knee. So you don't want it in real close, you want it back further. And then once you have that set up, you can either keep the fingertips here because that's kind of the setup for our legs, or you can come up here. Either way is fine because the focus of the pose is the lower body, not the upper body. So if it feels better for you to be up here, that's fine too. Still working the legs and the hips. Coming back to your breath. And then from here, you can take the left foot, walk it over a little bit further to the left. So both hands are inside that foot, the left foot. Option to stay here for a few more breaths. So getting a little deeper into the hips, or you can try coming down onto one forearm, just noticing it might be a little different on this side than the other side. Maybe you can go further, or maybe just not quite as far. That's fine. That's normal. And then take your time to make your way back up onto your hands, and we're going to transition into our pigeon pose, walking the left foot over to the right side. Bringing that knee down, take that back knee back. So if you want, you can come to an upright pigeon for a breath or two, and then whenever you're ready, just making your way down to a resting pigeon. Maybe resting on your forearms, or even stretching the arms out long. And again, just telling yourself to allow your body to just release, relax, let go into the pose. About 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then take your time to walk your hands back, coming out of the pose however you want to come out, and just stretching it out. So maybe doing a few hip circles, or a downward facing dog is a good counter stretch. Or even just a child's pose. All right. And then you can come back down. Before we come into our next pose, you can take a drink of water. And then our next pose is going to be on our stomach. All right. So take your time. So if you're still drinking water, don't worry. I'm just going to start. This is actually one of my favorite poses. It's a really good pose for your lower back, and it's really relaxing. So Sphinx pose, your elbows is right under your shoulders, so you don't want your elbows back. You want them forward a little bit. Even a little bit forward of your shoulders is fine. Relax the feet behind you. And then the only real thing you need to do is make sure the shoulders are away from your ears, that they're not hunching in. And then so this is stretching our lower back. If you want to increase or decrease the stretch in your lower back, you would kind of just take your head down, looking down. And if you want to kind of increase the stretch, even if it's just a little bit, you're going to lift your head up, keeping your gaze forward and your chest looking forward. If it doesn't feel good, if this pose doesn't feel good for your back at all, even coming up this much, you can come down even lower, But this is generally kind of a nice gentle stretch for our lower back. So just allowing your back to just release and relax into the pose, maybe just kind of looking out at the water, using it as a time to kind of as a type of meditation or coming back to your breath. So either just staying here for about 5 more breaths, or if you want to try to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands wider, straightening your elbows. Or you could come all the way down to your stomach and rest on your, yes. So just about 4 or 5 more deep breaths. And then we're going to come all the way onto your stomach. So you can we'll start out with the right side of our head. So the right cheek's going to come down. You can release, relax your shoulders. So just palms are up, hands by your side. Staying here for a few breaths. And you can lift your head up and bring the other side of your head down, the other cheek down. And then you can push yourself up to a seat. And we're just coming up to a seat briefly because we're going to come onto our back. So we're going to finish on our back. So coming up to a seat and then making your way onto your back. From here, hugging the knees in towards the chest again. And then we're going to take both knees and then bring them up and over to the right side for a lower body twist. You're going to take that left arm, and it can just be bounce at the elbow, just a little bit up overhead. And just looking up at the sky, or you can look a little bit over to the side, or even close your eyes, but just really starting to let your body relax. And then bring your knees back up through to the center. And we're going to bring our knees up and over to the other side. So just taking your time to set up for the twist on the other side. This time, right arm, maybe just bent at the elbow up overhead. And then slowly make your way back through to the center. We're going to take a nice long stretch, so straightening your legs, reaching your arms up overhead. And then you can make your way into Shavasana, so just the final relaxation pose, finding a comfortable position to lie on your back for the last few minutes of class. And traditionally, our feet are kind of just naturally open up out to the side. Maybe our palms open up out to the side. If that doesn't feel really comfortable for your back, you can always bend the knees, take the feet out wide, and let the knees just kind of relax in towards each other. And sometimes that feels really good in Shavasana too. But basically just allowing your body to relax for the last few minutes of class. So this class being kind of a yin-yang style, with the first part of class being kind of the energizing, the active movement. The second part of class being a little bit slower, more meditative. And then at the end, it's important to allow your body to not have to do anything, to just be. But we need both of these things for ourselves to feel in balance in our body and our mind. And then from here, take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale. Again, nice deep inhale. Complete exhale. And then start to bring some small movements back to your body. So maybe just starting out by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe starting to roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists a few times. And then bending your knees, reaching your arms up overhead like you're just waking up in the morning. And we're going to roll onto one side, just kind of pausing on your side for 2 to 3 breaths. So kind of like as a halfway point before we come all the way up. And then whenever you're ready, take your time to make your way all the way up to a seat. All right, and let's finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. We'll finish just like we started, so taking one deep inhale, reach your arms out and up to the sky, press the palms together, and then bring your hands to your heart center. And just take a moment to kind of just check in with yourself, noticing how you feel, thanking yourself for coming out, doing something good for your body, for your mind. Just feeling a sense of gratitude for the beautiful evening and for each other's company. And just allowing the positive energy that you feel from class to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the evening and throughout the day tomorrow. Namaste. Great job, everyone. It's getting dark out now.